This episode of Cold Cans is brought to you by coldcans.cc. That's right, the official website for the Cold Cans podcast. There you can find, well, some pretty cool stuff. Well, to be honest, it's bare bones right now, but if you want to go look at it, we'll make it look good. So check out coldcans.cc. Right now it has links to all our episodes, a little buy us a beer feature where you can throw a few bucks our way and give us a suggestion for what you want us to drink on the show. That's right, we can be bought, baby. And coming soon, you'll see full-length videos from all our episodes there on coldcans.cc. Check it out, coldcans.cc.
Back for another month. Rainy, gloomy May day today.
It doesn't feel like June at all.
No, I was telling you my, yes, because it's June. I was telling you my Achilles acted up. The barometric pressure shifted.
That's right. You're one of those guys now.
My Achilles is tight. I'm one of those guys
You
now.
could be like, well, it's going to rain.
And there's a very certain something that could loosen it up, and it's in this box. Folks, if you're watching on video, I've got a box
Got
here.
some anti-inflammatories there, or blood thinners, not anti-inflammatories.
A certain kind of anti-inflammatory. But yeah, we catch up before we get the drink, right? We haven't talked enough about the structure of the show. Do we catch up right now?
Kind of casual. We can catch up. This is where you would assume that two people who are friends could just kind of shoot the shit.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can.
Okay.
How? No, give us an Achilles update while we're on the topic.
I'm rehabbing. I'm able to do 10 double-footed calf raises, no problem. I'm able to do 5 or 6 single-footed calf raises with problems. It hurts. And as soon as I can get to 10 of those, I'm going to start hopping around, hop, hop, much like your precious little Easter bunny of last month. I'll be able to hop, hop, hop around, and then eventually play volleyball with us in our summer volleyball league. Maybe near the end, most likely not. But we'll see.
For championship weekend.
No,
that's good. That's good. And you've progressed because you weren't able to do any single leg lifts.
That's correct.
Somewhat recently, right? Yeah.
Probably since we were doing the backpack field trip episode, I wasn't doing single leg.
So that's within a month.
Hashtag built different.
You are built different. We all saw how Jason Tatum handled his Achilles injury.
Yes.
Joey was much stronger.
Our friend of the show, Justin, pointed out that Jason Tatum took 2 days in the hospital. I wish him the best. I took about 5 minutes in the hospital. So
you do the math.
Yeah. If you could do the math on that, 2 days, 5 minutes equals, I don't know. Let's get right to the drink of the day. I thought a lot. I'm sitting there. I'm trying to get some sleep, and I sat right up in bed, and I said, babe, okay. I gotta think. And I've been thinking for a month straight like that about how you said we were taking it back to our roots.
Yeah.
With coming down to the basement to do cold cans. And what you were referring to is that our studio we used to run in Capitol Hill was in a basement of another broader complex.
I think that was part of it, and I'll let you finish. But
Kanye West,
yes. That and just hanging out vibes.
Yeah.
More than like trying to do a full structure thing. Anyway,
well, I was thinking, I don't have a ton of childhood memories with you in a basement. But
not that we're speaking about publicly.
Yeah, it did look a lot like this with the Ring camera and everything. But before we ran the studio together, we were obviously good chums, good pals. Would you say chums?
Sure, chums.
Pals?
I would drop good is all I'm saying.
Okay. Nope. We were chums, and we would, for one, similarly go down to a basement once in a while to imbibe, called the City in Madison, Wisconsin.
That's right.
The shitty bar is what we would used to call it. because the City Bar's logo or slogan was "Sink to our level."
That's right.
Which was
Very good.
which was below the ground. So we talked about the Shitty Bar.
One of the most busted for underage patrons bars in Madison, I believe.
Which is saying something. That's a high bar.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot. But the city would give you the exasperated look type thing. That you'd give them the worst fake ID they've ever seen, and they'd go, come in. And you're like 16 years old. I'm 34-year-old Mike McMacken or whatever. Devin McMacken.
Devin McMacken.
But I was... So this is, again, I'm thinking. I'm sitting upright in bed, completely erect.
Joey.
Not like that.
Stop.
No, posture-wise.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sitting there thinking, and I go, there's something else further back than the studio that I recall. And that's what inspired today's cocktail.
Okay.
But rather than just open this box and review it, some might note in some recent episodes that we've both happened to encounter celebrities in certain environments who've sung us music.
Right.
But also some might note that we I have once sung a parody song.
Okay.
In Total Wine, I sang Drinking Savory.
Try it, yeah.
Which was really
savory.
a parody of Defying Gravity.
Right.
So what I did was write another parody song, influenced by today's drink. And rather than play it,
please
don't. I'm going to do it live.
Wow. Okay. Let me know if you need me to harmonize or anything.
You could jump in when you're feeling it, and I might fuck it up. And if I fuck it up, we'll either edit it or I'll just try to power through it. Because I might get a little bit loud here.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is... Let me give me a little preface, which is this song I wrote for passion, for memories that we had in college.
Wow. Okay.
Very distinct memories around this drink at a certain establishment.
Okay, I'm excited.
Ha, ha, ha. Happy hour, neon glare, debauchery in the air, crowded bar, shaker slam, Nick and Joe of cold cans, red shed bartender, a fan, ask the boys, what's the plan? Nick responds, grabs the man, says, show me how it all began. Vodka, gin, silver rum, tequila, on the run, triple sec, sour mix, lemon gives the final kicks, simple syrup, mountain ice, cola splash to cap it nice, highball bar call, Long Island will take it all. We didn't start this podcast.
Hey,
having fun with these shitty parodies. No, we didn't start this podcast with money guarantees, and yet it still proceeds.
Wow.
I can't believe it came out in one.
I love that.
Thank you. So that is my we didn't start this podcast.
Yes.
By
Billy Joey
Glock.
Very good.
In our drink.
No, I like that. That was beautifully performed.
Thank you.
I'm glad there were no sort of misdirections about it. It was just you singing. That's kind of fun.
I wrote, wanted to go back to where it all started, so I took a trip to Long Island to do research, listened to Billy Joel, and met him, and he and I began drinking together.
Okay.
And then, you know what? I
you
scrapped
omitted
it all.
that. Yeah, we didn't need that. So we're doing Long Island iced tea.
And we're going to be drinking Long Island iced teas. And
now, repeat that recipe because there's a lot of stuff in this.
Yeah, let me pull that up.
Pull it
Vodka,
up.
Jim, silver rum, tequila on the run, triple sec, sour mix, lemon gives the final kicks, simple syrup, mountain ice, cola splash to cap it nice, highball bar call, Long Island will take it all. Weed. Let me pull up your internet browser here on your tablet. Oh, wow.
Geez. Joey's using my iPad because his phone's filming us. That's how kind of high budget we are here. And I have no idea what was on my browser. Could have been anything.
I do. It's very interesting. I think you did a Google search of vacation destinations, and you did a different one of just some Delta. You were looking stuff up on Delta. So not as exciting as I wanted it to be. All right. Here are the official ingredients.
Yes.
I'm glad you were holding your breath on that of what you would have had up in your browser.
Well, you know how it is. Could
be
anything.
Yeah, I know how it is. We're either going to make a single or a double. I think we make a double but I'm going to I can switch it right here in all recipes to double. Wow. We are going to mix 1 fluid ounce of vodka, 1 fluid ounce of rum, 1 ounce of gin, 1 ounce tequila, 1 ounce triple sec, 2 ounces of sweet and sour mix, 2 ounces of cola to taste.
Hey.
And 2 lemon slices, but I didn't find a lemon in the Total Wine, so we don't have lemon slices. So there is that. Nicholas, would you be so kind as to retrieve our dishes? Or
you make them here? I think, yeah, you can make them here if you don't need a
table.
table.
The ingredients. Okay. I want to start introducing what I've purchased this afternoon. So we're retrieving the ingredients here.
Look at these. Available for purchase.
It's available now. Are they?
We have more of them, right?
Yeah, my basement's full of them by the rat traps.
Right. They're not.
They're shielded from the rat traps. They're in bubble wrap. Rats can't get through this bubble wrap.
They're very safe.
Folks, I'm telling you. Okay,
Cold cans.
We start.
We'll get back to merch someday.
I'm going to drop this iPad.
Not again.
We're starting with 1 ounce of vodka.
All right.
So let me find that.
So you got this whole box at Total Wine.
That's right.
And spirits.
And spirits.
Or no, what is it? Total Wine and more, I guess is what it is. Yeah. Bevmo and more.
Where is it? Ah.
Oh, I love it. The little Tito's bottle. So, yeah, what are we doing here? Here's our table.
Our vodka of choice, Tito's handmade vodka.
That's right.
Mike Pereira says, award-winning American vodka crafted in an old-fashioned pot still.
Ooh.
Have we done Tito's on the show in any capacity?
I don't remember. I mean, we've drank Tito's a lot together. Or not a lot, but occasionally.
We've had Tito's.
From the hometown of friends of the show.
Tito
and Tatina. No,
Austin, Texas?
Yeah. Evan and Adrian.
Yes, friends of the show. Should we get ice?
Oh, yes. Forgot the ice.
Nicholas is going to retrieve some ice. So, yeah, if you go to your local Total Wine, folks, little pro tip here. You might start putting full handles of these things in your cart, thinking, oh, what the fuck am I going to do with all this liquor once we do our probably 1 Long Island iced tea drink? Then you turn the corner. Then you see in the middle, next to all the promotional materials, where one guy is giving out samples for tequila that you try at 1:30 in the afternoon. Then you see that they sell small bottles. This is something between the types of bottles you smuggle onto an airplane and a full-on handle. So this is sort of this, who could say really, 200 milliliters. So it's 4 times the size of the smuggle bottles that you bring into a music festival. So here's Tito's.
Not bad. That can be your smuggle on,
You could smuggle this on.
Flight attendants, when they say it is against the law to consume your own alcohol, you can hear the wink in their voice.
It's a guide. It's guidance. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. I'm shaking.
Yeah, it's okay, Joey. We've been in a basement a lot together.
Yes,
with no money guarantees or whatever. That was funny. No financial.
No money.
What was it?
Money guaranteed, yet it still proceeds.
Yeah, that's funny. That's very good.
I wish we had financial guarantees, and I wish I could have fit the syllables of financial in that line, but I couldn't.
It was that Juul money that we turned down. That was where it all went wrong, where our friendship kind of crumbled. Early on in the Cold Cans days, we were the RSS feed was red hot. And we were approached by Juul nicotine vapes.
Yeah. We turned them
to
down.
Run some ads in the early Wild West days of podcast advertisement. And we took the moral high ground and we turned them down.
What a stupid mistake.
We should have foreseen where the country was headed. And just been like, this is going to be so tame 5 years from now.
But it's crazy because when it happened, whenever that was, 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
It seemed insane. We're not doing tobacco ads.
It did seem insane. Yeah, it did seem insane at the time.
And yet, yeah, of course we're all doing that now. All right. The rum is a original spiced rum.
Oh.
Captain Morgan. Now, it's been many years since I've had any Captain Morgan.
All of the little paper bag bottles we're rolling here.
Yes. You could walk around. You may walk around Scottsdale, Arizona with this in a paper bag at a bachelor party.
That's the only way you won't get arrested.
Yes. So here, maybe I'll start. That there. That's pretty safe.
That iPad's toast. That's going to get dropped.
No. So now we're going to do 1 ounce. Remember, it's 1 ounce of each of these. So so far, this is the second shot going in.
And so Long Island iced teas, connecting it back to, you just brought up the city shitty because of the basement thing. Because they didn't do Long Island iced teas, did they?
No, but in the song, I said there was another establishment in the song. I mentioned that the Red Shed.
Right.
So we could give a little color into that as to the Red Shed had,
which R.I.P. Right, no longer with us.
It might be renamed. Friend of the show, Justin would know off the top of his head what this is.
He's who I associate most with it. Yes. It's this really, dingy college bar smack dab in the middle of campus in Madison, Wisconsin, essentially, and or thereabouts. And so we're talking. Let's go to the back of the bar to the front. It's kind of like a skinny-ish bar, longer than it is wide, and God willing, in the very back, there's the bathrooms, which were famous for how disgusting they were. Yes. The men's room
didn't have a door.
And the toilet didn't have a door blocking, but there's an open toilet.
The room didn't have a door.
It didn't at all. I thought it
just
did have
used
a swing
angles
open.
and curves.
Subterfuge. And then
like a game of subterfuge
the trough,
and intrigue.
Right? I think it was trough style.
Trough with a big thing of ice.
Yeah.
That you pissed on. And then the toilet didn't have a door.
Yeah.
And it would frequently have basically broken glass in it. People would throw glassware and stuff in the toilet.
Yes.
And our friend Corey took a shit in there once. And again, the irony is that this is such a tight quarter that the bathrooms are right by the pool table, which was always frequented. So people are throwing darts, playing pool. And if you just take the right set of turns,
open air exposure to some man at a bar at probably 9:30 at night.
But they would sell huge Long Island iced teas.
Pint glasses.
Big. It was probably like a mason jar.
Oh, that's right.
It was like bigger than a
mason jar. So it was probably like a quadruple serving.
And we would do races. We would race.
That's right.
You would chug the 3 pints of Long Island iced tea as fast as you can. And it would produce, some people would just straight up black out right there in the bar. Pass out. And it was cheap. $5?
Probably, yeah. It's hard to even say now because all cocktails are
by the way.
Crazy nice. And good dartboard set up there. You kind of felt like you're on a pedestal in the back above everyone else.
Love that.
Great dartboard. Yep, great dartboard setup. And then kind of booths along the way. Remember they had the jukebox where you could, like the digital jukebox, whatever those are called.
The touch tones.
Touch tones, thank you. Or touch tunes. Touch tones. One of the two. One of the tones. Oh, yes. And what was I going to say about it?
Tequila is the next.
Tequila.
Jose Cuervo Especial tequila. I realize how many shots are in this.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Only drink half of this.
Yeah, we'll see. It's early yet. We got to get our conversation better. So we need that juice yesterday.
I'm going.
Okay, so Red Shed. Yeah, the night usually, because you would always start at the Red Shed, right?
Well, yeah, unless you're doing the Long Island iced tea race.
Yeah. Oh, here's what I was going to say. This is very clever.
Okay, good.
Does anyone say Long Island iced tea? Like you could say LIIT as the acronym LIIT or just LIT and combine Long Island. Why can't we just say let's get lit? Did Red Shed ever do that? Let's get lit. $5 Long Island iced
and they
teas.
ran out of breath at the end of the sentence like that.
Let's get lit.
Not to my knowledge. And they could have,
but that's pretty good.
They could have used emojis.
Yes.
And they could have done
fire emoji.
Like, this place is lit. This special is lit.
This special is lit.
Lit.
Why not?
All right. So now we've gone through the core liquor drinks.
Yes.
There's still a lot more here.
Rum, vodka, gin, tequila.
Thank you for using your
pointer. I got a lot of power with this pointer. Check out the video available on OnlyFans.
Yes. We're on OnlyFans?
It's for creators. We're creators.
Now we have triple
sec.
Triple sec is an orange flavored liqueur, basically. And we're simply going to need 1 fluid ounce in this in addition to the other things. So
yes, we're not getting the close-up sound effects as usual, but you'll just have to hear our little burps and mouth noises instead. But Joey's pouring it in for those who are.
You get a.
Yes, very good. Billy Joel with his mouth work.
And now we're hitting the home stretch now, folks.
While we're
2
doing
ounces
this,
of Zing Zang sweet and sour mix.
yes, we love a sweet and sour mix. Now, what's in a sweet and sour mix?
Lime and lemon.
Yes.
Why?
Those are the famously sweet and sours.
With orange bitters flavor.
Nice. I have a follow-up on last week.
Please do.
So before last episode, I made you a French martini. There's the Zing Zang.
Yes, you did.
And we sort of didn't know why it was called the French martini. Well, I texted my friend Jen, and she sent over an explanation. So here is, for those who are curious, here is the background of the French martini. French martini originated in the 1980s or early 90s and is credited to New York City bartender Keith McNally, who popularized it at his bar, Balthazar, opened in 1997. So that would imply that this is more in the 90s, although it was likely created slightly earlier. Oh, twist. At one of his earlier establishments like Odeon or Pastis. Despite the name, here we go. Now here's the meat of it. Despite the name, the French martini isn't actually French. It's called French because it contains Chambord, a French raspberry liqueur. The drink is a product of the cocktail renaissance that embraced flavored vodkas and fruit-forward recipes, characteristic of the late 20th century bar scene.
Wow. I didn't really hear much of that.
French martini
is New York.
I did not fact check that.
Is New York? Where was it?
Yes.
French martini is New York. New York. Just like the Long Island iced tea.
Yes.
Now, the last ingredient is 2 ounces of cola. Total Wine is a Pepsi shop.
Oh, isn't no way.
Yeah.
That is too bad. But on
really
brand.
Hoping for a Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
They don't have Coca-Cola mixers.
That's right. Just for a little color, you get the cola in there, huh?
Dash color at the end. Now,
what do you think they were making at the Red Shed? Because there was no sort of measuring and mixing going on, to my knowledge. Were they pre-batching that?
They pre-batched it because they were making too many of these. They were slinging these to college kids.
And it probably most likely was what? Vodka and then a Long Island iced tea flavor. Yeah, flavoring compound.
It could have been just the rail drinks, or you ever heard of a mat shot?
No.
Mat shot is the idea that you, at the end of the night, you look at the bar mat of all the stuff that's been spilled on it. You wring it out into a shot and you take that. It's going to be good liquor and it's free. So it's more or less that. Here we have a Long Island iced tea, except for the lemon slice to garnish. But here we are. Cheers.
Thank you, Joe. This is a politeness first podcast. I mean, that's really tasty.
It's so fucking good. It's also, you could feel how strong that is. That is really strong because there are 4 shots. Well, if a shot is 1.5 ounces, right? So there's,
I think that's right. Yeah,
4 ounces. So there's
2, but
a little over 2 shots.
Okay,
in this.
Well, that's not bad. We've done worse.
In there. Yeah, we've done much worse. Long Island iced tea. Yeah, your initial thoughts while I look up the history of it.
It's really good. You first get I'm tasting like the triple sec, I would say. You get the sort of orange tint to it. And it masks the other liquors pretty well, or they all cancel each other out sort of flavor-wise. I like it.
Yeah, it's shocking how much they cancel each other out.
Right?
You'd look at this and you'd go, no, don't put all those things
obscene,
together.
Right.
But it's not obscene. It tastes lovely.
Obsessed.
Yeah, it's
not
lit.
Obscene.
I'm sorry.
What do you got for me, Joe?
The Long Island iced tea, or Long Island iced tea, is an IBA official cocktail. It does not typically contain iced tea, but it's named because it has the amber hue and taste, general taste of an iced tea, which I don't agree with. Much higher alcohol concentration than most highball drinks due to the relatively small amount of mixer. It's 22% what we're drinking.
Okay.
2 competing origin stories. This is what I had come across before. One from Long Island, Tennessee, and one from Long Island, New York. Robert Rosebud Butt. Robert Rosebud Butt, B-U-T-T is his last name.
Yes.
Robert Butt claims to have invented the Long Island iced tea as an entry in a contest to create a new mixed drink with triple sec in 1972 while he worked on the Oak Beach Inn in Long Island, New York. A slightly different drink has been claimed to have been invented in the 1920s during Prohibition by Old Man Bishop in a local community named Long Island in Kingsport, Tennessee. It is unknown what the original recipe exactly looked like, nor which source is true. The first printed form of this was in Betty Crocker's New Picture Cookbook in 1961.
Nice.
It's considered a favorite of university students in the United States.
Does it actually say that?
Yes. And is thus garnered negative connotations such as an act of mixological atrocity favored by college student and wastrels, in the words of one food critic. So lots of variations. You could do a Boston Tea Party, which has blue curacao in it. You could do a Grateful Dead, which has lemon lime soda in it, a Hawaiian iced tea with pineapple juice. Your imagination,
yes, is the only limit. Yes,
is truly your only limit. Or ChatGPT you could use if you don't have much of an imagination.
Come on.
Well,
it's damn good.
It's going down?
I think that amount of liquid, so the pint glass is probably halfway full. So, about, it was maybe a little more. It was just maybe 10 ounces to begin with. Yeah. That amount of liquid and this much liquor, probably by the end of it's going to be a little arduous, but for now, it tastes good to sip on.
It does taste good. We are drinking 2 Long Island iced teas here, to be clear. I made a double.
But based on our past, that's maybe easy to take in.
And it's maybe smart that we made the double because now we won't be encouraged to make multiples. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. That's how I approach most meals. And I'm always like, that first plate's going to be overflowing so that I'm not tempted to get a second.
You're not tempted to get seconds.
And I've gained 10 pounds in the last month.
It's working great. Of muscle. Of pure, sheer muscle.
You ever get self-conscious being on the video now? Even if no one's going to see this because I'll not post it again. But
I know how fat
I feel a little, yeah.
I don't really like me in profile, so this, not a huge fan. I don't have a Nick Patry jawline, and I understand it. Yeah, who could compete? I'm sitting here trying to compete.
Right.
No, I was thinking about trying to make a joke about how I gained 10 pounds, but it was mostly shit. And then I was like, what am I talking about? And I didn't make it. So
refused to poop.
That's what I'm more embarrassed about. Sure. Those types of things that I have to say.
That's where you feel
than being on the show.
Me too.
But I am here with a Mariners ball cap, and I want folks to know my allegiance is still with the Brewers.
This is your AL team.
Yeah, it's my AL team. I can root for both. If they meet in the World Series, go Brewers, go. All right.
Tonight, by the way, was cribbage board night at American Family Stadium in American Family Field in Milwaukee. My brother said he's going to get me a cribbage board.
What does it look like?
It's the giveaway. I don't know.
Just a regular.
It'd be fun if it looked like the board. The old MB logo with
that'd be cool.
The pegs in it.
It's going to be so chintzy. It'll be like some of the holes will not have been all the way drilled through.
Yeah. Well, thanks for shitting on my kind of fun little anecdote I had there. What do you have, Joey?
It is going to be shitty. You know it is. But it's a nice sentiment. It's nice that your brother's doing that for you. But it's going to be a piece of fucking shit.
No.
I hope it's good. You know why I say that? Because I went to the Seattle Kraken hockey team. And they had the coolest giveaway idea that I was very excited for, which was a goalie mitt, oven mitt night. So it's an oven mitt, but like a goalie mitt from hockey. And we went, and it's the shittiest thing.
Yeah.
It looks like shit.
Just absolutely.
And it has no padding in it. You immediately scorch. Ow! As if you touch anything with this thing. And so it's been a huge disappointment. And now I'm very jaded. And if you bring this home and it's nice, I don't know if I'm going to go back to another Kraken game.
Well, you shouldn't. Hockey's fine. I just want to shit on you, not on a whole sport.
It's perfectly fine, is what it is.
The cribbage board
be excited
is for your
cribbage board.
I'm sick of this sort of negativity.
Be excited for it. It's going to be a piece of shit.
And what's next? I
was
going to ask how your drink is, but okay. I have some notes too.
The drink is, each sip is going a little bit better. To be honest, when I took the first sip, I thought a little harsh. But then when I read the note about how this kind of looks and a little bit tastes like an iced tea, there is a hint of iced tea taste in this.
Yeah, in that
somewhere.
It's like somewhat complex, I guess. It's like hard to pin down what it is, which is maybe true of iced tea. I don't know.
That's it. Tea is a complex thing. And the color, varies from varietal and all that.
The color certainly is the biggest reason it's called that.
So there's that.
Which one do you buy? You buy the New York Long Island or the Tennessee Long Island?
I would buy the New York one. Most drinks were made from some promotion, and that story is some bar had a promotion for triple sec, and a guy threw a bunch of fucking liquors into a cup in
and it
Long
looked
Island.
Cool and caught on from there.
The prohibition one is a little too romantic.
Right.
So
Right.
that's what do you buy?
That makes sense. The only thing, iced tea is more of a Southern thing. That'd be the only sort of argument in the Tennessee favor, but
Yeah,
Tennessee's
that's true. That would imply
that
that they were
South.
trying to recreate the tasty
Right.
look of iced tea with
Maybe
this.
they were.
And maybe they were. It just feels to me like, again, like a mat shot type thing. Like, well, we have all these, and you told me I got to do a triple sec promotion. So let's see what all of it tastes like. Can I introduce Wrestling Corner, WWE Corner?
Begrudgingly, sure.
WrestleMania happened between last time we met and this time, and I've been watching wrestling. John Cena won the championship, and he's a heel now. We don't like John Cena. Dang. He's a very bad man.
Oh.
And
he saved all those kids, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter anymore. Oh. He hates everyone. He says he worked very hard his whole career for everyone to like him, and he doesn't care anymore.
Wow.
And he's going to be done at the end of the year with wrestling. He's going to retire with the belt. No one else will ever get the belt. Wow. Unbelievable stuff.
So he's self-actualized. He's not, judging himself based on others' perceptions. He's done.
I like him.
I'm not here to make friends.
That's what he's doing.
Belts.
And he turned his logo stuff. It just says in Times New Roman just John Cena and in black. And so he's very plain now, which is fun. But more importantly, an update. Last pay-per-view Backlash. I sat through, and this made me realize I am done watching wrestling. I sat through and watched a match between Gunther. Gunther is the ring general, big German guy, bad guy, and he's German. That's what makes him bad. We've been doing this in wrestling for decades now. Gunther, former WWE champion, fought Pat McAfee,
really?
punter and internet celebrity Pat McAfee in a match.
Goodness.
Can I say something? Pat was pretty good. He was not a terrible wrestler.
He
wasn't very good. Gunther won, choked him out. Pat passed out in the ring. Couldn't move anymore. So that's been Wrestling Corner. For those that wanted to catch up, check out WWE on Netflix and Peacock.
Wow. Promo code.
We're not being sponsored by WWE.
Well, that's kind of fun.
Wouldn't that be sick?
Oh.
Then you'd get into wrestling if they were like, we'll put you your sponsor.
Of course. We're ringside doing a live cold cans.
With Pat McAfee. As he does his matches now, he's wrestling. It was a
good
bummer
for
to
him.
watch.
Yeah. And it makes, that's what it's always been, is just appealing to, our what's ever popular at the moment and bombastic people. So it makes sense that he would be involved.
To that point, the plot line of why Pat McAfee was in the match is that he's their announcer. He's a full-time announcer for WWE.
Oh, really? I didn't know
that.
That
guy's a busy guy.
Yeah, good for him.
So he does all the things with the other announcer. And the other announcer criticizes all the bad guys. So these guys, the announcers are good guys. So we hate the bad guys just like the audience does.
Right.
So Gunther, he's a bad guy. The other announcer's like, I hate this guy. Well, the narrative is Gunther comes out, he says, I heard what you were saying about me. Pulls this old announcer in the ring and super bombs him. It's like, he's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
And so Pat McAfee comes to his defense and then says, I want to match with you. I want to match with you.
Got it.
And then in this godforsaken event that I sat through, this will probably be the last
How
Wrestling
long was
Corner.
this?
The match?
Yeah.
Probably a 20, 25-minute match.
And there are how many matches in WrestleMania?
WrestleMania is 6 hours long.
Oh my goodness. How much of that did you watch?
2 hours.
Okay.
I don't even know what I watched. I had it on when Devin was out of town. I was doing other stuff and I was finishing work, and then I'd look up and I'd be like, oh, Pat McAfee and Gunther. Anyway, the narrative was the old man announcer was like, if we can't announce something, if we don't have the freedom to say what we want and have somebody here interfering, then I don't want to do this job anymore. And Pat is out there fighting for the freedom of the press.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, that's not bad for how wrestling could be very
if it's First Amendment coded and not Truth Social coded, where it's
don't know which way it was. But he was saying
we're getting censored.
He was saying no, it wasn't
things.
A canceled thing. It was we should have the right to call things the way we see them. And shit, it could have been. Don't know. Hey, for those out there, if you're watching wrestling, tune in. Let me know whether I am right or whether I'm right wing now.
Hey,
okay, that's been Wrestling Corner. Check. Let's talk movies.
It's Movie Corner is back, even though you betrayed me.
I Betrayed You, but did we watch a movie together after I Betrayed You? Yes.
Thunderbolts.
We watched Thunderbolts.
Asterisk.
Let's talk Thunderbolts quick.
Let's do it.
To me, it's 5 bags popcorn. Awesome to see with you in IMAX. We sat in the back corner of the IMAX.
That's right.
I thought a guy ahead of us was fidgeting too much. Other than that, no audience problems.
Yeah.
We had a big old bin of popcorn.
Yep.
And it was like classic Marvel stuff.
I thought it was fun. It's kind of, there's not one flat out star that were kind of revolved around there. So it was
Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
The beautiful Florence Pugh.
I guess she is a star, but the character itself is not the focal point necessarily of the film, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. But she kind of seems
truly an ensemble.
A truly ensemble ragtag cast of misfits.
Yes.
I love a misfit cast movie.
Yeah.
I really do love, genuinely, I'm saying that. I love that formula of like, we got to assemble them all. They don't really want to do it.
Yep.
Then they do start working together. Now they're friends. They're found family.
Yeah.
Those are kind of my favorites. And that was that kind of movie.
And we're dealing with depression. Some pretty heavy stuff there with the
villain.
No spoilers, but yeah.
Villain was cool. One of the cooler Marvel villains in a long time.
It was interesting.
The way he dispatched with people was visually striking. Like, it's horrifying, but it's
like
cool.
He's ashing a cigarette on each of them.
Nicholas, you should be a film critic. I should be a wrestling critic. You should be a film critic.
Yes. Well, those are one and the same.
Truly.
When it comes to WWE. Thunderbolts was good. It's similar to what we always say. It's a little too long. The setup, they're in this like blast furnace vault for seemingly 2 hours.
They're in that vault forever.
It's too long.
Expository dialogue.
Yeah.
One character looking at another in a circle being like, so you're telling me you used to work for the U.S. Army, but then your family left you, and then you... It's like...
Yeah. It was a lot of that.
I went and peed while that was happening thinking, I don't need this.
You did.
And then
You're
I came...
Mid-movie pee guy.
I think I get nervous. And I drink sodas. You sit and you just... cotton mouth, just sit there. You'll just...
I do. I don't blink.
Eat
I don't adjust my weight ever.
You eat salty popcorn by the handful, like all of us do, but yet you don't want to lean over and grab a little Sprite. You want to just sit there and just.
I like to feel my gums kind of dry out over the course of the film.
Unbelievable. But I'm chugging a big old soda.
Right.
And of course I got to pee. So I saw this and went expository dialogue. And I came back and went, we're still going around. Happening. That was one problem with the movie, but overall fun.
Yeah, totally fun.
We also saw, not together, but each of us saw Sinners.
Sinners, great movie.
I have declared, and I maintain it with enough time that's passed, I think it's in my top 5 movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, wow. It's falling. Straight away, you were like, that's the best movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. So now with enough time, I don't think it is. I still think The Truman Show is my favorite movie I've ever seen.
Very similar, those two.
Yes. The Truman Show, Blade Runner. I love 28 Days Later. These are all my favorite movies. Sinners is in that mix, is what I'm trying to say.
It was great.
How much I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
we
it was
both
great.
Loved it.
In IMAX, it's great. Leaves you, walking out of the theater, just like things to talk about, I guess, of like the symbolism of things, like, some of the choices around the character decisions. Yeah, there was a lot to take in, and then visually it was incredible.
Beautiful to watch in IMAX.
Watched it in IMAX.
And also to listen to, because so much of it, like, it is a vampire movie, and it is about like the South in America at that time, but it's also a musical kind of, and it all works. It's very good. Ryan Coogler, he's young. He's going to be around for like 30 more years making movies. I'm very excited about that because he's freaking talented. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
All right.
I got other movie corner. You still got movie corner stuff?
Well, we have another shared one, which is both of us, without consulting one another, last night watched Twisters. Yeah. And I texted Nick and said, I'm watching this shit. I don't even know what I said. I was just like, I'm sitting here watching Twisters. And you were like, I'm not kidding. I literally just finished watching Twisters.
Yeah, it was so bizarre. So bizarre. And I fell asleep during the last 5 minutes of the movie. And then I woke up and was like, much. I checked my phone and then saw Joey sent me a picture of him drinking wine with Twisters on the screen.
Yes.
It was so weird.
I was just like shocked that you said I recently watched it. I was like, okay, cool. You're like, no, I literally just watched it.
Literally just now. Finished that.
Well, by the way, Sinners, 5 bags of popcorn from me, of course.
Sure.
Twisters, It's 5 bags of popcorn, but it's not a good movie, and I
But the
didn't like
bags
it.
are empty because the tornado blew them out. What about that?
That's right.
What about that?
What about that, folks? The tornado blew them out. It's 5 bags of popcorn, but they're the little white bags that they give you if you want to split a big bin of popcorn.
Yes.
You know how they give you the free
We
bags?
haven't even talked about that. Yeah. Sometimes they have the free white bag on the side.
That's right.
Sometimes not. During Thunderbolts,
We always
could
split
put
a
my
bowl.
popcorn in the little. We always split a bowl. Sometimes switch off paying, and
Give me a break.
the bowl was it's like what you
get
get corn
$1 off.
dogs. I do as a Stubbs. No, what am I? A-list.
You're
Sorry,
Stubbs A-list.
A-list.
I'm just a Stubbs Premier member. All right, keep going. Corn dog box.
Corn
They give
dog
you a-
bowl is what I had during Thunderbolts.
Yes.
And that was all I needed that day.
I hated it because you're like, I'm pretty good here. I've had 5 kernels. And so then because I have no self-control, I eat pretty much the whole giant bin.
I've been there, yeah.
It was really
It's there.
good though. It like particularly was good.
Yeah, I think it was fresh.
Sometimes
They
you
had
get like
just made it.
you see them taking the bottom scoop and you're like, God damn it.
Yep. It's going to be half kernels,
Right.
half popped.
You can speak up. I've seen people speak up when that happens. I want fresher kernels. I'm never going to do that.
How long to the next batch?
How long to the next batch? Because flight risk starts in 10 minutes and I'm going in. Well, okay.
But yes,
Twisters, 5 bags popcorn, but it's not good and I didn't like it.
it's like 80s type movie in that it's incredibly predictable and the storylines are pretty cheesy, but it has like really good, graphics or like animations, I guess.
Pretty to look at, yeah. Pretty actors to look at too.
Of course, yeah, Glenn Powell.
You can look at Glenn Powell all day.
But no action, no physicality between our leads.
It was not nearly horny enough.
No.
And that's a problem. That's a problem.
And Sally Draper, again, spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen Twisters, Sally Draper dies in the first 15 minutes.
I know, you see her, you're like, oh, cool, she's in this.
Kieran and
she's
Shipka.
not. It's
Yeah.
just a Powell vehicle, the guy from Hamilton vehicle, and the actress I've seen, but I don't really know what she's in vehicle.
And you told me this. I didn't realize that the
it's
new Superman,
The new Superman
is the
in it.
evil nephew.
His evil nephew. A hornier movie than this, we'll go back and forth on movies we watched recently. A hornier movie than this was The Incredibles. I've seen it for the first time. 2004 Incredibles.
You just saw it for the first time?
It's one of those blind spots I had.
Interesting. What did you think?
Graphics look like shit.
Okay.
The movie looks like fucking shit. Like really bad.
Interesting.
Story?
2004. Okay. so
Story's
it is
awesome.
2 decades
Loved
old.
it. Loved it. And then I realized the sequel came out in 2018. The sequel just
Really?
came out a few years ago, so I'm going to watch it soon. Love The Incredibles. 5 bags of popcorn from me.
Wow. Yeah, I remember it being good. I think I've seen both of them, but not, I suppose, since 2018. And the original probably since way before then. But yes,
Looks
very
like
good
shit.
horny films, and I'm glad you've checked them out.
Well, everything's hornier
Disney
than Twister.
Plus?
Twisters.
Right.
Twister's hornier than Twisters.
It probably is.
All right, you
Now,
finished your Long
What's
Island.
Yeah, I'm waiting for which
we
little hip flask am I gonna take nips off
Ooh,
of here?
You know what you could do? The son of Long Island, which it would be.
Pete Davidson. No, that's the
Which would
king
be-
of Staten Island. That's what it is.
Yeah, he's the king of Staten Island.
That's
He's
my
not the
bad.
son of Long Island.
Gabrus,
Gabrus
is,
is the son of Long Island, I think.
our good friend of the show.
Yeah, well, because we've listened to podcasts he's in. What if you did? This is obviously the full Long Island, Papa Long Island. What if you mixed and matched and picked and tried to make a subset
Mm,
and seen what that was like?
I think that's an excellent idea.
You don't have to do it. Just take whatever
Well,
you want. Go ahead and fix yourself. Then.
Check in though on the effects of a Long Island. I definitely feel drunk right now.
Oh, I do
In a
too.
good way. Like, and I'm sure, this show has become more compelling as we're
yeah, we
talking
could talk
about the
about movies
horny
for an hour.
films and we're talking about movies. And we have no sense of how long we've been going.
Yep.
So I'm feeling it.
3 Days of the Condor, 1970-ish, 72. Robert Redford, intrigue, spy movie with Faye Dunaway. And excellent. 5 bags of popcorn from me.
Are you a film guy now? Is this kind of going to be your
No,
your
I've
next?
been listening to the comedy podcast because I really like these guys with Gorley and Rust. So they used to have a podcast called In Voorhees We Trust with Gorley and Rust, which was a horror podcast. But now it's just called With Gorley and Rust.
It's Matt Gorley and Paul Rust.
Matt Gorley and Paul Rust. And they just kind of watch movies, and I watch them with them. And it's fun because they watch good movies, and they're funny. And it's just like, it's movies that I don't know if I would know to decide to pick out of the spectrum of things. So it gives me like a reason to watch a good movie, and I find that I like that.
That's why people listen to Cold Cans. They're like, what am I going to drink?
Now they know
I've had quite a week. What am I going to drink?
Now I got to go to Total Wine and buy 6 different things.
It's like I make a Long Island iced tea and pass out.
How much do you think this costed?
How much did this costed? Grapes.
This with a little 6-pack of Pepsi.
Little 6-pack of Pepsi. Well, that's most of the sugar
Pepsi
tax
Max.
in this county. That's the most expensive thing here.
Well, if there's an
how much
aspartame
did this
tax.
costed?
How much did this costed?
Bob cost us.
Bob
50,
Bob Costco.
59. Bob Costco. Boom. About that.
Yeah, the Costco guy. 59.
I hate that I made fun of you for saying costed too. I'm sorry. That's so stupid to be like, you misspoke.
It is stupid. It's sucks.
So dumb.
It fucking sucks.
It's
Guess
so
the
dumb.
price now.
I said what did I say? $59.
$42. It's not bad.
Not bad.
For all because they're little boys.
You could make yourself, you could make yourself what? 10 Long Island iced teas with this?
Mm-hmm.
You
Each
could be
thing was like $6.
You could die.
You could
for
die.
$42.
It's the cheapest way to die.
And that's what we need in this country. Common sense.
It's like $6 for each of this shit, and each of those was like $7. So it was not
bad
much
at
money.
all.
Yeah,
because the mixers are not much, and then hey,
not bad.
It's a bargain.
It's a bargain. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me about this, and I told you
another Paul Rust one. Yes, but go ahead.
Madison. To get back to Madison, I saw this in college at the Union
Red
South at the Red Shed. Yeah. 3:30 was on TBS, and I sat there and drank 4 Long Island iced teas.
If it was on TBS,
Tinker
you would have
Tailor
said
Soldier Spy.
You
right, with
said
commercials.
For 6 hours.
Yeah. No, I saw it at Union South Theater in Madison, which was when we were in college. That was like brand new. It was like a pretty nice space, and I saw that there. I remember it seemed way too long even at the time, and that was before my attention span was absolutely shot.
It's slow. It's long. There's a lot of, I think I told you, there's a lot of Gary Oldman sitting here doing this, and he goes, and then, but that shot would be 5 minutes long.
Yeah, there's like music
in
the background making you feel something.
And it's so confusing. However, it is like, we were talking earlier about luxuriating in certain chores, how like I find it easy to luxuriate in cooking, you and I both.
I don't even look at cooking as a chore. Sorry.
And I find it hard to luxuriate in a chore like cleaning.
That is, but yes, you're right.
It's the character you've been doing since we started the show.
Right. Sort of, the smug.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I should have done that. I should have done more of that. I was doing too sultry. The Long Island has me a little. Get me back to my Red Shed days when I was having to be spitting game after drinking a Long Island iced tea.
Maybe the character that goes, "Oh, you're doing that? I see." Maybe that character sober, when they have a couple Long Islands, they turn into sultry version, which is I don't even view it as char.
A lot of winking and such. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I could
winking, but also be like, all right, fuck you if I'm listening to it.
Yeah, exactly. Constantly dunking on people for the most inane shit.
Saying what's a favorite chore. Yeah. I don't even know
chore. But back to our,
I can't remember what we were talking about. Cleaning,
real chore.
There's a ghost in here. Cleaning, real chore. I rush through it. Cooking, I luxuriate.
Yeah.
But can't remember what this movie, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, I just luxuriated in. I didn't really know what was going on. And yet we got Cumberbatch. We got Gary Oldman. We got Colin Firth. We have all the best actors.
Honestly, though, yeah.
Great cast.
Do you know who directed it?
Tom Hardy is in this movie.
Yeah, wow.
Can't remember.
Is it a famous director? I don't know. I only care about the famous ones.
Can't remember off the top of my head.
But it was a big deal at the time, I feel like, right? Because that was like nominated for some Academy Awards and such. Who won?
It's a Lepere book. He writes a lot of like a French writer that writes a lot of like intrigue books.
Should we do Book Corner?
Oh God. I finished Fairy Tale by Stephen King. Pretty good. 5 bags of popcorn for me.
Newer one,
Taylor
older
Soldier
one?
Spy was 5 bags of popcorn for me.
Nice.
Fairy Tale's newer one.
Sorry, before we open up Book Corner, I need to close down. Movie Corner. What are we looking forward to in the month ahead? Until next month, what are we going to see?
Cinema?
In cinema.
Because I'm going to watch more old spy
I have
movies.
some list.
I'm going to watch Blowout with John Travolta.
Oh, God.
1981. In cinema?
Joey, tell us how good these movies are that none of us are ever going to watch.
We're going to, well, unless you listen to Gorley and Rust.
Do you think anyone views us in the way that you view Gorley and Rust?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Keep going. No one respects us enough to follow through on what we're doing.
I was going to say my wife, but she doesn't respect me.
No.
Can I say what movies we're going to look forward to? What movies we're going to look forward to?
I've
Go
got
ahead,
a list.
fucking blast me. I missaid the sentence. What movies we're going to look forward to?
I'm sorry I did that.
I don't even remember.
I'm truly sorry. That's a dumb thing to say.
Now I'm making fun
but
of
costed
you
is also. Someone should be accosted for that.
When we re-listen to this, I'm not even sure I said that. I'm not sure I did.
But we'll check. We'll check the tape.
We'll check tape.
We'll cut a lot of this.
We're looking forward to Mission Impossible, right?
Oh, yes.
Are we looking
Final Reckoning?
The Final Reckoning. Are we looking forward to live action Lilo and Stitch? I'm not really.
No, we're not. But I love you could pull that from memory. That's coming out. Yeah.
And
we're not looking forward to that.
Isn't there another big one in May? Do you know? Or in early June?
Friendship is coming out soon,
of course
which we need to see.
Friendship.
Tim Robinson, Paul Rudd. 28 Years Later comes out in June, I think. I want to see that with you. But I need to find the other ones because I haven't actually seen
any of them.
28 Days or 28 Weeks. Is that the
28 days later, 28 weeks later?
Yeah, I haven't
28
seen either
minutes
one.
later, 28 seconds before. 20 No, it's 28 days later, 28 weeks later. Also a great movie. Not quite as good as 28 days.
Okay.
And then 28 years later is coming out, which is going to be awesome.
The trailer is insane and gets me excited about it.
Yeah.
The like woman counting down on the, or like counting out the deaths
radio
of the day on the radio. Yeah.
Really
very
good stuff.
I want to see that. I just discovered this today. There is one called The Unholy Trinity with Samuel L. Jackson and Pierce Brosnan. It's like a 1800s Montana gold heist sort of old Western type film.
Are they mailing it
okay.
in? Are they trying to piggyback off Kevin Costner and
Yellowstone,
make some money?
Yeah, probably. It looked fun. If it's an hour and 50 minutes, I would watch it. If it's 2 hours and 40 minutes, I won't watch it.
What's your
But I just saw the
hour
trailer.
51, you're not going?
Yes.
Hour 49,
Lock it
you're
in.
in.
Lock it in. I didn't recognize the director or the writer, but I mean, those two actors, and it just looked like if you're into like watching an old Western type thing, it seemed fun.
Samuel L. Jackson, hardest working man in show business. Self-proclaimed.
Capital One.
Might literally be true. He's all over the place. Give me a break.
Define work.
Nicholas. This is hard work. How do you define work as we sit here surrounded by liquor bottles? Well, we don't make shit off this anyway.
Well, that's true. Not till now.
No money guarantees.
Yeah, no money guarantees. This kind of reminds me of the scene in Thunderbolts, which is pretty funny when David Harbour's Russian character is sitting in his house.
Yeah. And
Florence Pugh's knocking on the door, and he had ordered something from like Grubhub or whatever. And he's just like in his Russian accent yelling like, "Leave it on the door.
I checked, leave it at the door."
Yeah. And then he's like, "You will be hearing from customer service for this insubordination." Yeah. It's funny.
It's good. It's a good movie. It was a delightful film to watch.
It's kind of funny. We saw a 2 p.m. film, matinee.
Can we share that the night before, you and I talked about, it was a Friday. I took the day off. It was a Friday. So he said, let's go at 2 p.m. And I said, okay. And I looked at the theater, and there was probably 10 or so seats, 8 to 10 seats taken. Every single one an individual seat. There were 8 to 10 solo guys.
Some sickos, yeah.
And I do believe it's guys. I do believe it would be 8 to 10 solo guys. And then you and I went in the back corner, and it did fill in. There were a lot of people there by the time we went.
But the people who are booking early, a lot of solos, just
Stubbs.
Stubbs, yeah, Stubbs, member of the Stubbs family. Found family, if you will.
Yeah, truly a found family you have.
And we try actively not to find each other in person. Try to isolate.
Yeah.
Well, the Long Island iced tea absolutely tickled me pink.
You didn't do your sub.
What am I subbing? What's the sun?
The son of Long Island.
Short Island. What about that?
Oh, a Short Island iced tea. That's a great idea, Nick.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
It really is.
I'm gonna
how many are you gonna pick?
Indiscriminate amount of Tito's.
Okay.
And maybe some Tanqueray, my two favorite.
Oh yeah, and if you're missing the sound of it,
and then just a splash of Pepsi. You know, we also haven't talked about Movie Corner. This should just be a movie podcast at the end of the day. Not the Nicole Kidman opening, but the Coke opening.
What if this was the official Stubbs podcast?
I would love that.
Honestly,
I would love to be honored with.
Honestly, you'd get too many weirdos. But okay, keep going.
If you get in too deep into the AMC Stubbs subreddit, you will encounter some stuff you're not comfortable with. That is for certain.
And you have gotten this.
I've been in there. I've had to back out slowly. The Coke commercial, though, where it's the two young hot people dancing, and they're like,
but they're going to
different
types of movies.
Yeah, in different movies.
Action movie, racing movie. Yeah.
Have you ever felt that good when drinking the Coca-Cola?
Every time.
All right.
No,
enough said.
In fact, I don't feel that good drinking a Coca-Cola, but I do drinking a Pepsi Max.
Pepsi Max.
The only drink for a Long Island iced tea. The Cold Cans boys, we only use Pepsi Max. No, of course not.
This has to be the drunkest episode since 2 episodes that are behind the paywall because they were so boozy. On our last writing retreat, which you refused. We can put this behind the paywall.
What writing retreat that I refuse?
You refuse to go on a writing retreat.
I don't. I love doing those. Let's book it right now on pod. On God and on pod.
Well,
I have your Delta stuff open.
And some other stuff from what I've seen.
Yeah. How can I combine Delta
that's a community
and then this other website here, this 4chan tab, and then and a lot of tabs of the Stubbs subreddit.
We won't get into that. I have some pending litigation on the subreddit.
I apologize. We'll scrub this.
What are you doing for Son of Long Island? Finishing
my papa.
I mixed gin, vodka, and Pepsi, and it is not as good as something a little more considered. I didn't do any of the flavorings. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with a bit of tequila, just a kiss. Tequila, vodka. Oh, a little bit of spiced rum.
Wow. How is your son?
Undrinkable. The Son of Long Island, it does not have all the ingredients. I mean, I'm going to power through it, but holy shit, that's bad. It's 5 bags of popcorn, but it's not good. Go ahead.
You just want to go out on. May had Seattle Beer Week. Do you have any breweries right now, for those who are wanting to know what the Cold Cans boys think about Seattle breweries?
Yeah.
Do you have ones that are like, what's your go-to beer and or brewery right now in Seattle?
I have come back around to this. My go-to brewery and beer are the same. Actually, the go-to brewery in terms of environment or in terms of taste of beer. What are you getting at?
Let's do both.
Both. Environment is probably one of the 2 Stoops. So it's probably the Stoop Brewing in Ballard or the Stoop Brewing in Capitol Hill. Mm-hmm. They're both really fun. They're big, airy, like food trucks are around, stuff is around. It's a great place to say, let's start here. Everybody meet here.
Yeah.
Have a couple beers, and then we go do whatever we do next.
Yeah.
My favorite beer is now Fremont Brewing.
Okay.
And Skykraken, I think, is my favorite beer right now. Skykraken by Fremont. And then Fremont Brewing is in the neighborhood of Fremont, or I don't know what it's called, the borough. And it's less fun because it's really packed,
right.
But their beer might be my favorite.
Nice.
It's in grocery stores and stuff.
Have you been to the one in Columbia City yet? The Fremont Outpost?
I haven't been. I haven't heard.
Yeah, there's something there now. That I've seen the neon sign. I've never been in.
Never.
There's
heard
a
of it.
Fremont though in Columbia City.
I haven't been to Columbia City since my Achilles went popped.
That was where our pickleball league was. That's true.
Literally, I
So you got
haven't
kind of
been back. I've
flashbacks.
been every time I get back, I get I start sweating. And
Right. You're like, oh, it's gonna rain.
Yeah.
Well,
that's all the notes I have. So if we're done with the notes,
that's pretty much all I had. I had some thoughts on wearing shoes, but we'll save that for next time.
What
do we have? We got to be.
I don't care. I want to hear your thoughts on wearing shoes.
So the other day, I'm sitting there.
Yeah, he's sitting there.
No, I was just thinking about this because I had a few days in the past couple of weeks where I was outside of the house, like working and then doing social things, kind of like all day long.
Social media?
Social media. Is that what you said? What did you say?
I said social media things.
No.
So you were checking
Just like,
TikTok?
Yeah. Yeah. I was in a park watching TikTok videos. Being outside of the house all day, having shoes on, my normal thing is I'm working from home and I'm walking around the house without shoes on.
Sure.
It's interesting being outside of the house, needing to have shoes on and just realizing that like,
yes.
My feet kind of hurt.
Yeah.
And they stink.
Yes.
It's something you don't realize until you're outside of it, you know? That's sort of shoe culture.
Oh, until you're outside of the outside, which means inside.
Well, I didn't realize that wearing shoes all day were so, could feel so.
You need better shoes.
Yeah, but I think it's still just like not wearing shoes compared to wearing any shoes is like a difference.
Sure, for sure. But I think
it's like when you're on an airplane and you got shoes on and then your feet swell up a little bit and they're feeling a little tight.
Hey, I've been wearing compression socks.
On the plane or
45-minute flight, I put the compression socks. No, on the plane.
Blood clot.
Well, honestly, it was because of the Achilles thing. My doctor said, like, if you're getting on a flight, you should probably wear compression socks.
That makes sense.
But I've been doing it. I get less bloated now when I travel.
Interesting.
Which I looked up is a real thing. It's fine. Like, it just, your circulation helps. Your circulation somehow indirectly influences your digestion. When your digestion gets better, you're just better.
Interesting.
So I wear it every time.
More efficient.
I agree with you about the shoe thing. I bought these Hokas because also my doctor said, like, you should have Hokas. You want to put less strain on your tendon.
Yeah. Very thick insole.
Very thick. I'm like 6'5" with these Hokas. But the cool thing is they're the first shoe I literally have ever owned. Hokas from Cold Cans. The first shoe I probably have ever owned that I don't feel like what you're saying, because my entire life I completely empathize with what you're saying, where you're out of you're in the holidays, you're just walking around the house in your socks, and then you go back to shoe time.
Yeah.
And it hurts.
It does. And I guess that's to say, yes, I could get better shoes, but I think normal shoes, like the shoes that are both readily available and ones that are like generally acceptable in, work settings, are just not that comfortable.
No.
Like I'm not getting them like form fitted to my feet or anything. Because your Hokas, those are comfortable. You wouldn't wear those if you had like a big meeting or something. Yeah,
of course not. You put on shoes that are uncomfortable,
right?
Which sucks. You have to get insoles, I guess, for that. Whereas these are just my like, it's Tuesday at work, I can wear my Hokas.
Sure.
But yeah, I agree. Shoes are bad.
Just goes to show you how tough we have it.
I got the black lung pop. All right, folks. Long Island iced teas. How many bags of popcorn from you?
Pretty good.
It's 5 bags from me.
I didn't mind it at all. Good choice, Joe. Thanks
buddy.
for picking this up. $42 though.
And it was put on the card.
Well, that I can get behind. All right. Well, cheers.
Cheers. Till the end of June. Happy hour, neon glare, debauchery in the air. Crowded bar, shaker slam, Nick and Joe of cold cans. Red shed bartender, a fan. Ask the boys, what's the plan? Nick responds, grabs a man, says, show me how it all began. Vodka, gin, silver rum, tequila on the run. Triple sec, sour mix, lemon gives the final kicks. Simple syrup, mountain ice, cola splash to cap it nice. Highball bar call, Long Island will take it all. We didn't start this podcast having fun with these shitty parodies. No, we didn't start this podcast with money guarantees, and yet it still proceeds.